Welcome to Shadow Watch, where the darkest corners of America's forgotten tales come to life. Tonight, we're heading to the jagged coast of Maine, where the sea whispers secrets and the fog hides more than you'd ever want to see. Have you ever wondered what keeps a lighthouse glowing when no one's left to tend it? What if I told you that in 1974, a keeper vanished from his post, yet the beam still cuts through the night, every single night? This isn't just a story, folks. It's real, it's chilling, and it's waiting for you to step closer. Our tale begins in Cutler, Maine, a sleepy fishing town where the Atlantic gnaws at the cliffs like a hungry beast. The little river lighthouse stands there, perched on a lonely rock, its white tower weathered by storms and time. Built in 1847, it guided sailors through treacherous waters, its light a promise of safety. But by the 1970s, automation took over, and the last keeper, a man named Elias Crow, was supposed to leave. Except he didn't. Not really. Locals say he's still there, tending a light that refuses to die. It was October 23, 1974, when Elias was last seen. A storm was brewing, the kind that makes the sea roar and the wind scream through the pines. He radioed the Coast Guard, voice steady, saying he'd stay one more night to secure the tower. The next morning, the storm had passed, but Elias was gone. His coat hung on the peg, his logbook sat open, and the lantern burned bright, brighter than it ever had. No body, no trace, just the eerie glow piercing the fog. The Coast Guard chalked it up to a freak accident. Maybe a wave swept him away. But the townsfolk? They knew better. Fishermen started whispering about a figure in the tower window, a shadow that moved when no one should be there. Boats passing by reported hearing a low, mournful hum, not the foghorn, but something human, something alive. And that light? It never flickered, never dimmed, not even during blackouts that left Cutler dark. I dug into the archives, and here's where it gets weird. Elias wasn't just any keeper. Born in 1920, he'd spent his life on that rock, a solitary man with no family, no ties. His logbook, recovered after he vanished, didn't just track weather or ships. The last entry read, "It calls me tonight, louder than ever. I can't leave it alone." What was it? The light? The sea? Or something else? Locals say the lighthouse was built on cursed ground, a spot where native tribes once warned against lingering too long. By 1980, the stories grew darker. A teenage girl, Sarah Mills, dared her friends to spend a night on the island. They rode out, laughing, flashlights in hand. Only Sarah came back. She didn't speak for days, but when she did, she said the light watched her. Her friends? Vanished. No boats, no bodies, just their screams echoing in her head. The Coast Guard searched, found nothing but a single shoe washed ashore. Sarah's story spread, and the lighthouse earned its name. Haunted, alive, and hungry. Now, picture this. It's 2025, and I'm standing on Cutler's shore, staring at that beam slicing through the mist. It's not just a light, it's a presence, a pull. Last week, a fisherman swore he saw Elias's face in the glow, eyes hollow, mouth moving like he's calling out. The town's buzzing with it, and I've got the footage to prove it. But this isn't just about Elias anymore. Something older, something deeper, keeps that light burning. So, grab a blanket, dim the lights, and stick with me. We're diving into the heart of this mystery, where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the lighthouse waits. What really happened to Elias Crow? Why does that beam never fade? And what's waiting for us in the tower? Let's find out, together. Let's step closer to the little river lighthouse, where the air feels thick, like it's holding its breath. I'm not just telling you ghost stories to spook you. I'm pulling you into something real, something that's still happening. The year's 1985 now, a decade since Elias Crow vanished, and Cutler's fishermen are avoiding that rock like it's cursed. But one man, Jack Harrow, didn't listen. A grizzled sailor with a stubborn streak, he decided to prove the tales were nonsense. He rowed out alone, his boat cutting through the fog, aiming to spend a night in the tower. Jack wasn't afraid of much. He'd faced storms that sank bigger men, hauled nets in waters black as ink. He told his buddies at the bar, "Ain't no ghost gonna scare me off." They laughed, bet him $20 he'd chicken out. He didn't. The next morning, his boat drifted back to shore, empty. No Jack, no gear, just a soaked journal clutched in the bow. The pages were a mess, ink bleeding from the damp, but a few lines stood out. The light moved. It's not a lamp. It's alive. The town buzzed with panic. A search party went out, braving the choppy waves. They found the lighthouse door ajar, the lantern blazing brighter than ever. Inside, Jack's boots sat neatly by the stairs, like he'd just stepped out of them. But the air felt wrong, heavy, electric. One man swore he heard a whisper, faint and raspy, saying, "Stay." They bolted, leaving Jack's fate a mystery. The journal? It's locked in Cutler's tiny museum now, a relic no one dares touch. Fast forward to 1992. A photographer, Lisa Kane, heard the rumors and saw a chance for fame. She set up camp on the island, her camera ready to catch that eerie light in action. Lisa was meticulous, logging every shot. Her last entry, timestamped 2:17 a.m., read, "The beam shifted, followed me down the stairs." Her film roll survived, washed up in a canister. The photos? Blurry shapes, a figure in a keeper's coat, and one frame. Just one, showing the light bending, twisting, like it was reaching for her. Lisa? Gone. Here's the kicker. The lighthouse wasn't abandoned after that. In 2001, a Coast Guard crew went to decommission it, shut the light off for good. They climbed the spiral stairs, tools in hand, ready to end the madness. But the lantern wouldn't budge. They smashed it. Glass shattered, oil spilled, but the beam kept shining. One guy, Pete Delgado, said it felt like the room laughed at them, a low rumble shaking the walls. They left, swearing they'd never go back. Locals started piecing it together. Elias wasn't the first to disappear. Old records from 1890 mention a keeper, Amos Reed, who wrote about voices in the beam before he vanished too. Then there's 1923, another keeper, Mary Holt, gone after reporting, "The light won't let me sleep." Each time, the lantern stayed on, defying logic, storms, even time. Was it cursed from the start? Built on that ancient ground, maybe it woke something up, something that doesn't let go. By 2010, the stories hit the internet. A YouTuber, Mike Voss, live-streamed from the island. His video's still out there, shaky footage of him laughing, then freezing. "Do you see that?" he whispers, pointing at the light. The stream cuts out. He made it back, barely, claiming the beam chased him across the rocks. Comments flooded in. Some called it fake. Others swore they saw eyes in the glow. Mike never posted again. Now, imagine you're with me, staring up at that tower. The light's pulsing, not flickering, pulsing like a heartbeat. Last month, a drone flew too close. The footage? Static, then a scream, then nothing. Whatever's in there, it's not just Elias. It's older, angrier, and it's watching. Stick around, because this is where it gets wild. What's keeping that light alive? And what happens when you get too close? Let's climb those stairs together, next time. We're climbing the spiral stairs now, the air growing colder, the walls humming with something alive. You can feel it, can't you? That pull, that itch in your bones telling you to turn back. But you won't, because we're too deep in this haunted mess. The Little River Lighthouse isn't just a relic, it's a trap, and tonight, we're staring into its heart. Let's go back to 2015, when the truth started clawing its way out, and the light showed what it really is. It was a foggy November night when Dr. Emily Hart, a paranormal researcher, arrived in Cutler. She'd heard the stories, Elias, Jack, Lisa, and she wasn't buying the accident excuses. Armed with EMF meters, thermal cameras, and a steel nerve, she set up in the tower. Her team, 3 grad students, joked about ghosts over coffee. By midnight, they weren't laughing. Emily's recorder caught it first, a voice, low and garbled, saying, "Mine." Not Elias's voice, something older, rougher, like rocks grinding together. The light flared then, blinding white, and the equipment went haywire. Needles spiked, screens fritzed, and one student, Tom, screamed. He said the beam pinned him to the wall, like hands pressing his chest. Emily's thermal cam showed a shape, tall, faceless, radiating cold, standing where the lantern should be. They ran, but the door wouldn't open. For 2 hours, they were stuck, the light pulsing, the voice looping. "Mine, mine, mine." When the door finally gave, Tom was shaking, whispering about eyes in the glow. Emily published her findings, calling it the entity of Little River. Skeptics trashed her, but the footage leaked online, grainy, terrifying, and real. Views hit millions, and Cutler became a ghost hunter's mecca. In 2018, a group of amateurs broke in. They live-streamed, cocky and loud, until the light turned red. The feed showed them scrambling, one yelling, "It's in my head." Then silence. Coast Guard found their gear. Cameras smashed, mics melted, but no bodies. The video's still up, frozen on that red glare. Here's where it twists hard. In 2020, a historian, Paul Grayson, dug into the lighthouse's roots. He found a journal from 1846, a year before it was built. A settler wrote about a shining spirit on that rock, a thing the tribes feared, offering it trinkets to stay quiet. Paul cross-checked. Every keeper who vanished, Amos, Mary, Elias, had logged strange lights before disappearing. He theorized the lighthouse didn't trap the entity. It woke it, gave it a voice through that endless beam. Last year, 2024, I got my hands on a leaked Coast Guard report. A maintenance crew went in, found carvings on the tower walls, names, dates, symbols, none there before. The light flickered, and they heard footsteps circling them, heavy and slow. One guy, shaken, said it whispered his name, his full name, like it knew him. They fled, and the report was buried. But I tracked down a photo. The lantern, cracked, glowing anyway, with shadows stretching too long. Now, we're at the peak. Picture this. It's April 2025, and I'm here, mic in hand, fog curling around me. The light's brighter tonight, almost alive, and I hear it. A hum, deep and steady, vibrating in my chest. I climb higher, the stairs creaking, and spot something. A figure in the beam, not Elias, not human. It turns, eyeless, and the hum becomes words. "You're mine." My flashlight dies, the air locks, and I'm running, but it's too late. The twist? This isn't just a ghost story, it's a warning. That light doesn't guide ships. It lures them, feeds on them, and it's growing stronger. Every soul it claims makes it brighter, hungrier. Elias didn't vanish. He's part of it now, fused with whatever's been waiting since the rock was bare. And me? I'm still here, voice trembling, because I swore I'd tell you the truth. Stay tuned, because the end's coming fast, and it's darker than you think. We're at the top now, the lantern room, where the air's so thick it chokes you. The light's blinding, pulsing like it's alive, and I'm not alone. Something's here, watching, waiting. My heart's pounding as I piece it all together. The keepers, the vanishings, the entity that's been feeding on this rock for centuries. This isn't just a haunting, it's a hunger, and I've walked right into its jaws. Let's finish this tale with a bang. Hold tight. It's April 4th, 2025, today, and I'm recording live from the tower. The fog's a wall outside, the sea's a growl, and the light's turning red, blood red. I see it now, shadows in the beam, twisting, stretching, not just Elias or the others, but dozens, maybe hundreds. Faces press against the glow, mouths open, silent screams trapped in the light. My mic picks up static, then a voice, clear as day. Join us. It's not one voice. It's a chorus, layered, ancient, and it knows I'm here. I stumble back, but the stairs are gone, gone. The room shifts, walls bending, and the light wraps around me, warm at first, then burning. I see flashes. Amos Reed, clawing at the lantern in 1890. Mary Holt, weeping as the beam swallows her. Elias Crow, reaching out, his eyes hollow. They didn't vanish. They're fuel, keeping this thing alive. The entity's not just in the light. It is the light, a parasite born from the rock, woken by the tower's first spark. Here's the final twist. It's not random. The journal from 1846? It wasn't trinkets the tribes left. They were sacrifices, offerings to keep this thing dormant. When the lighthouse went up, it broke the seal, gave it a voice, a hunger that's grown with every soul it's claimed. I found carvings last night, scratched into the floor, names, dates, and one word, run. Too late for that. The light's in my head now, whispering my fears, my secrets, pulling me apart. I fight it, clawing at the walls, but the beam tightens, a noose of heat and sound. My phone's recording, battery's dying, but it catches the hum, the voices, the truth. If this gets out, you'll hear it. The lighthouse isn't haunted. It's a mouth, and I'm its latest meal. The last thing I see is Elias, not a shadow anymore, but flesh, smiling, saying stay. Then darkness, total, endless dark. But wait, there's more. The feed cuts, and you're thinking I'm gone, right? Wrong. Hours later, a fisherman finds my gear on the shore, my phone still playing that final clip. The light's still on, brighter than ever, and locals swear they see me in it now, a new face in the glow. The entity's not done. It's waiting for you, anyone brave or dumb enough to climb those stairs. So, here's where I leave you folks. If you like this ride, hit that like button, don't ghost me. Subscribe if you're hooked, because Shadow Watch isn't done digging up America's darkest tales. Comment below, would you dare step into that tower, or are you smarter than me? Share this with your friends. Let's see who's got the guts to watch alone. And if you're not scared yet, stick around. Next time, we're chasing something even wilder. Stay curious, stay spooky, and maybe stay away from Maine.